Why, in your opinion, this movie is so special?
Well, I guess it all goes back to the script. When I read the script, I read a film that I thought could be both very, very scary and it had a real emotional core to it, a real heartbeat to it. And that's quite rare. So if you can make a film that is hopefully both scary and has horror and heart at the same time, then that seems to have bigger ambitions than a lot of the films in the genre.
And you have to find the right balance
Yeah.
between emotions and scariness side. And do you remember the first audition of Daniel?
Yes,
Him?
yeah, well, we met. We met in Los Angeles, and we met in a hotel, and we had just chatted, basically. And we had a long chat about the film, about the script, about life, and we got on. We were clearly understood the film in the same way, and the character in the same way, and here we are.
And why did you take the risk to pick up a huge star as Daniel for your movie?
I didn't really see it that way, I suppose. I thought he's the right actor for the part, and I thought he'd play the part really well. I thought he had a real quality of sympathy, and he could draw on a real quality of sadness that this character has. And everything else is sort of extraneous, really. I mean, I just thought I thought he'd be really good in the role.
And do you remember what kind of advices he asked you?
Oh, well, it's just generally, I mean, you know, every day it's a conversation more than giving advice. You're talking about the character, you're talking about the role, you're talking about what he's feeling, what he's thinking, where he's come from, what's in his head. And it's always just trying to, you know, in film acting, I think it's always about just trying to keep in the moment. You know, what is the actor, what is the character, what are they carrying in their head at that point? Where have they just come from? Where are they going? What do they want? What do they need? You know, it's really very sort of simple, but it's hard to keep it simple.
And do you remember the best habit he has on the set?
Well, he's very, I mean, Dan is very gentlemanly and very genial and great to have on a film set because he's a very nice person. And he's got a very hard work ethic. So, I mean, that's fantastic in terms of he'll, you know, the lead actor and the director often create the energy and create the atmosphere and the mood of the film set. And so to have Dan on your film set is an incredible ally. It's an incredible thing to have.
Did you have some problems or issues with the crowdy fans moment?
Not really, because we were filming either in very remote locations, so it'd be pretty hard to get to, or we were inside Pinewood Studios, which has got a lot of security. So.
And can you say something to us that you think you, public or readers, doesn't know about Daniel?
Oh God. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the thing about Dan is he's got fantastic general knowledge. So in quizzes, he's brilliant at quizzes. But the thing about Dan is that he wants to challenge himself, you know, and he wants to take on new roles, and he wants to, you know, he's just done a year in Broadway, he hasn't missed a show. So he's an incredibly impressive man, and I think what's interesting about Dan is because people have an association of Dan in their heads with Harry Potter because it's been such a fantastic, strong, you know, brand. But Dan, that's several, you know, they're making him look younger, and that was a couple of years ago. So I think people need to catch up with who Dan is now than to the part Dan was playing a few years ago.
Yeah.
You know, because he's a man, and he's an actor that wants to stretch himself and take on new challenges.
And now he's a father in the
In
movie.
the film, yeah, absolutely.
How can you describe the relationship between his son on set?
Well, we cast his godson, which was very deliberate. They've got a shorthand, they've got a connection, you know, they really get on. His son was very little when we shot the film, he was only 4, so it's very hard. And to have that informality between them, and it was very important to me for people to really buy into that relationship. I mean, it's crucial to the film. So we worked very, very hard to make it as truthful as we could. And having his godson really helped that, so that there's a real genuine bond between the two of them that you can capture on camera.
So you didn't use some tricks or stuff to help, the
Yeah,
connection.
you always do that as well.